Hi y'all, it's Suzanne. Welcome to our second journaling practice of February 2022. As I mentioned last week in our journaling session and in the two practices that followed, for the month of February, our focus is relationship to self and self-love. Why? Because the way we treat ourselves, the way we love ourselves, that sets the bar for how others love and treat us. Love yourself hard, treat yourself well, accept nothing less. Let's take a moment to ground so that we can fully arrive and be present for this time together. Place your feet firmly on the mat, sit bones in your chair or on the earth, sit up nice and tall, close the eyes. You can have the hands at heart center, at your knees, or in the lap. Seal the lips, begin to inhale and exhale through the nose. If you'd like to take the breath a little deeper, you have that option. You can hold each inhale and hold each exhale for an extra count. I love myself hard. I treat myself well. I accept nothing less. I love myself hard. I treat myself well. I accept nothing less. I love myself hard. I treat myself well. I accept nothing less. And so it is. Let go of any extra hold in the breath. Return to your normal breathing pattern, and then gently flutter the eyes open. In last week's journaling session, I asked you to think about 3 things about yourself that you love. And I reminded you that if you can't come up with 3 things, you are definitely selling yourself short. So whatever these 3 things were, I asked you also every day to look in the mirror, remind yourself that you love these things about yourself, to express gratitude for those things, so that the gratitude would grow along with the things that you love about yourself. I hope that you were able to do that most days and that your gratitude and self-love grew. The more we express gratitude, it grows. The more we express love, it grows. Hopefully you were able to journal again other than just the one time last week. And if you didn't, that's okay. I'm just glad that you took that one day to do it. Hold on to those things you love about yourself. Maybe make a habit of sharing those things with yourself, expressing gratitude. Think about why you love those things, whether you share them or not with other people. Today, I want to spend some time focusing on self-care. The way you love yourself, the way you treat yourself. This is baseline for how others treat you. Part of self-love, part of treating yourself well is self-care. What are those things that you do to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to show yourself a little bit of love and kindness? When it comes to your yoga practice, maybe it's coming to child's pose in a practice and taking a moment of rest to reset. Maybe your act of kindness for yourself, taking care of yourself, is showing up that day because you had so many other things going on, yet you took the time to make it to your mat. Maybe it's taking a break from your practice or whatever other movement that you do. It might be taking a restorative class instead of a power class. Journaling can also be part of our self-care routine. to really take some quiet time, to sit with your thoughts and just be. That's something that many of us don't do often enough. The quiet time, the alone time, the sitting with our thoughts. Throughout the day, we all have monkey mind. We're multitasking. We're thinking about so many different things. It's nice to dedicate that time to just be, to think, and jot down the notes through journaling. The way you take care of yourself may be different from how I take care of myself. We are all incredibly unique. Some are introverts, some are extroverts. We have different interests, so the way we take care of ourselves will vary. Whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to show yourself kindness, I want you to take the effort to do those things for you. How do I take care of myself? How do I treat myself well, show myself kindness, nurture myself? I like to get manis and pedis. I like to go for a massage. A foot massage alone or with my girlfriends is one of my favorite things to do. Every 4 months or so, I get Botox so that I feel better about myself, so that I don't feel like I look so old. Since I was a young adult, one of my favorite things to do for self-care was to turn out all the lights, just sit in the dark, and spend a day watching Lifetime movies. That may not interest you, but every now and then I still find that that is how I want to spend my day. And at the end of that day, I feel revived. Spending time with friends, family, loved ones, that's the way that I show self-care. I have an extreme love of travel and possess much wanderlust in my heart. So traveling is a way that I take care of myself. I love movement. I love to exercise, whether it be cardio or strength training or yoga. I love reading and learning. So those are just a few of the ways that I take time for myself, dedicate that time to myself, nurture my heart, show myself kindness. For some folks, it may be gardening. It may be spending time with your pets, which is something else that I love to do. In the upcoming week, I want you to think about the things that you do regularly for self-care. It could be as simple as brushing and flossing your teeth twice daily. The things that you do on a consistent basis. Maybe it is watching your nutrition and trying to get more fruits and veggies in. Pay attention to the things that you do regularly. What is your routine for self-care? Think about those things, jot them down, because sometimes we do them and we don't realize that they're an act of self-care. So acknowledge that, and then think about how you might better be able to take care of yourself. Are you someone who puts off your annual visits to your doctor? If that's the case, stop. Go and see your doctor. Be proactive about your health. Are you someone who knows that if you don't get up and get your workout in first thing in the morning, it's not going to happen? If that's you and you want to get that movement in, set the alarm clock a few minutes earlier. Get up and get it done to make sure it happens. Think about the things you do today that are for self-care. Maybe they're things that you have never really thought about as being part of your self-care routine. And then I want you to think about what you can do to add to that. Think about what makes your heart sing, what makes you happy, what are you passionate about? How can you be more proactive in your health and wellness, both mentally, physically, financially? Those are all different ways you can take care of yourself. I want you to spend some time doing what feels good. Maybe it's stepping outside and spending a bit of time in the sunlight. Maybe every evening before bed, you want to have a small piece of chocolate. Maybe once a week you treat yourself to an ice cream cone. Do things that make you happy. Do things that are good for your heart, for your body, for your mind, for your spirituality. I want you to continue thinking about the things about yourself that you love. Review your journal entry from last week. Maybe jot down how it felt to think about those things, to acknowledge those things, to express gratitude. Continue doing that this month. Think about what you do regularly to support your self-care, because part of self-love is self-care. What do you do routinely? Jot those things down. How can you do just a little bit more to nurture yourself? Most people spend a whole lot of time taking care of others and sometimes neglect themselves. So with that said, maybe what you need to do is continue doing for others, because that's what makes your heart happy, but make sure that you also take the time to do things for yourself. So you will write down the things you do for self-care. You'll write down what else you could do. And this week, I want you to take the time to do at least one more thing. Add one more thing to your regimen for self-care. Why? The way you love yourself, the way you treat yourself. This teaches others how to love and treat you. You want to be loved well. You want to be treated well. Relationships start with you. Love by example. Teach others how to love you hard and treat you well. So as this video comes to a close, I hope you'll take the quiet time. I hope you'll grab your journal and pen and sit down and think about how you can take care of yourself. Think about what you already do and how you can add to that. Let's close out by closing the eyes. Seal the lips. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Constrict the back of the throat. Let your breath create an ocean-like sound. Focus on the sound of your breath. I love myself hard. I treat myself well. I accept nothing less. I love myself hard. I treat myself well. I accept nothing less. I love myself hard. I treat myself well. I accept nothing less. Gently flutter the eyes open. Bring the hands to heart center. Right now, I want you to think about one thing you can do in the upcoming week that is self-care. Whatever that one thing is, you're going to write it down in your journal and hopefully add more. For me, this week, I am going to take better care of myself by getting in more sleep. Oddly, I find that when I get more sleep, I feel more productive, and it almost seems like there are more hours in the day. Love yourself hard. Treat yourself well. Accept nothing less. Love by example. Now, grab your journal, grab your pen, write down what it is you're going to do in the upcoming week to take better care of yourself. Write down what your current self-care regimen is, and let's add to that. Thank you so much for joining me. So much love, so much gratitude. Bye.